Hi guys, I'm back on the floor with books next to me, so you know what that means. I'm doing another book video. Who is she? I know, crazy. But in my last video, which was every book I've read so far this year, I said I would do every book I want to read for the rest of the year in the next video. So this is like kind of part 2 of the last video. Also ignore my apartment. I'm in the process of moving if you've watched the vlogs. It's been a struggle. So I thought I would film book videos before my whole library gets packed up and is on to the next location. I will be doing a moving video and decorating and moving vlog, so give me a second for all that. But for right now, we're doing a book video. Again, this is my TBR for the rest of the year, except I'm being realistic with myself because I've only read 21, now 22 books so far this year. When last year, by this time, I probably read about 70 books. So I'm definitely slow this year, and that was my goal, to slow down with reading. So I'm not mad at myself. I'm just trying to be realistic here of how many books I'm actually gonna read. I do tend to read way more in the winter because obviously in the summer I'm going out and going to the beach every day and doing things every day because it's warm out and there's things to do outside. The fall and the winter, I'm inside reading my books. So these are the 20 books that I want to 100% read before this year ends. Like, this is like my 100% goal. And also I'm gonna do a section of books that are coming out throughout this year that I also want to make sure I read, because there's obviously new releases that I don't have in my hands yet. But I always read books as soon as they come out, and that's why I never get to my physical TBR, is because all these authors decided to start releasing a book every single month. I can't keep up. So I'm being realistic with myself. So we're gonna go through my entire TBR. I need to find my phone though so I can have my Goodreads. So first we're gonna start with my physical TBR because that is what I should prioritize, but I'm a mood reader, so do I prioritize it? No, never. But anyway, first book on my TBR is Reckless. This is the book club book of this month on Patreon, so there's no way I won't read it. I'm actually posting updates for every single chapter on there. Like, I do full reading vlog video updates of every single chapter. So this book is 100% getting read. This is the only book so far I can say with my whole chest we are 100% reading it because I have to for the book club, which is linked down below if you want to join and hear all my thoughts. But I would read this on my own free will because this just came out and this is my most anticipated book of the year. Powerless is my favorite book of the year so far, so you already know I was so looking forward to the second one. I can't wait to be back in this universe. Kai is actually my husband and I can't wait to be reunited with him in this book. So I'm actually gonna read this right now. So this is my like next book that is actually going to be read first. But I do have the Powerful novella and I haven't read it yet, and I'm not gonna read it before Reckless because I don't have the patience to wait anymore, and I just want to read Reckless already. So I'm probably gonna read this at some point throughout the year. Honestly, it's just not a priority for me because I know what happens at the end, and I just don't want to read that, to be honest. Someone tell me to read it though. Someone motivate me, because if you don't motivate me, I know I'll end up skipping it. Even though I love this universe so much, because I know how it ends, I don't even want to start it. So I've had it since it's come out, but I still haven't picked up. It's so small, like just read it already, but I haven't yet, but I will. I want to. I'm gonna stay on my fantasy track. Probably after I read these, I'm gonna want to stick to fantasy. Usually, like, I go in phases with books. If you saw in my last video, I went from reading like 6 fantasies in a row to 6 contemporary romances to like 4 dark romances. Like, I always go like based on my mood at that time, and like I'll stick to it until I'm sick of it, which maybe isn't good, but I don't care. So I really want to read Heartless Hunter by Kristen Cicerelli. One person recommended me this in the group chat on Patreon, and they told me they thought I would like it, and they gave like a little description, and I screenshotted it, and I found it the other day, and then I was like, that sounds like the best thing I'll ever read, so I immediately bought it. I don't remember anything about what it's about now, but that makes it so much more exciting. So I really want to read this probably after I read Reckless. We'll see. Like I said, I'm not gonna put these in order actually because I'm such a mood reader. It will change based on the day. No, I already know what I'm gonna read after Reckless. I'm gonna read Play Along by Liz Tom Ford because that just came out and I haven't read it yet, and I love that series. You guys know The Right Move is like my favorite book ever. It's the second book in that series. I also love the first and the third, but the second book, so I can't wait to read the 4th. So I'm actually gonna read that at some point too, add that to the TBR. I don't have the physical copy yet, but maybe I'll read this one after that. Please comment down below like your thoughts if you've read these books. That will, like, no spoilers, but like motivate me to read them. Or tell me like, oh, that one wasn't good, like you could skip that one or something. Going back to a book that I actually have DNF'd earlier in the year, but I do want to finish, is Ashes and the Star-Cursed King. I loved The Serpent and the Wings of the Night, which is the first book, and then I read 6 Scorched Roses, which is the novella. Loved that as well. Then I started this one and I couldn't get into it, and I felt myself getting put in a reading slump, so I stopped reading it, but I want to go back to it because I love this universe. So this one, if anything, if you guys have read this, please tell me to stick it out because I need the motivation at this point because I already DNF'd it once and I really want to finish it. Anyway, switching up, going to a different vibe. I want to read Butcher and Blackbird by Brynn Weaver. I've seen people talking about this on TikTok for the longest time, and I'm pretty sure it's about 2 serial killers, so I don't know why I think I would enjoy that. but everyone makes it sound really good and everyone raves about it, so I want to give it a chance. I love the Mindfuck series, which is also about a serial killer, so hey, maybe I'll like it. I'm pretty sure it's like a comedy too. I could be totally wrong. Let me know if you guys think I will like this, or if you think I'm too soft for it. Warn me, please. Is it graphic? Is it disturbing? As long as the romance is cute, I don't really care about the rest. As long as the guy is nice to the girl, he can do anything. He can be a murderer, he just can't be a woman hater. And if that is a bad opinion, then pretend you didn't hear that. Then I have this book called Where Time Stands Still by N.S. Perkins. This has been on my shelf for so long. I don't know why I want to read it so bad. I don't even know what it's about, but I was looking at my Goodreads and I was like, I need to read that soon. So I put it in this pile because I've had it on my shelf for the longest time. Don't even know if anyone's talked about it, but if you've read it, let me know, because something about it it keeps calling my name. So I want to read it. I'm going to read the back real quick. Oh, this sounds like it's going to be sad from what I read on the back. Why is this book this long? Love Unwritten by Lauren Asher. I really liked Love Redesigned, but something about a book being this long, I don't want to pick it up. But I do, because I want to read the series and I love everything Lauren Asher's ever written, so I don't know why I wouldn't read this, but this is just so intimidating. It's literally like a brick. How many pages is this? Oh my god, it's over 600. I will read it eventually. It's just scaring me. Usually I would read these right when they come out, but do authors like get paid by the page nowadays? Because I feel like books keep getting longer and longer and longer. And I think, I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure they get paid by the page on Kindle Unlimited. I don't even know if this is on Kindle Unlimited, but I fear that's why these books are getting so long, because this is a dictionary. Anyway, my next book. Okay, I'm actually reading this soon because I have an arc. Maybe I should read this next. See, this is my problem. I have an arc of Daydream by Hannah Grace. I don't even have anything to say. That's Henry. That's my boyfriend. Haven't even opened this book yet and I know he's my boyfriend. This is the third book of the Icebreaker Wildfire series. I'm so excited. I read Icebreaker like 2 years ago, whenever it came out, and I DM'd the author on Instagram. I've never done that before in my life. I DM'd her on Instagram and I was like, I need you to give me Henry's book now. She responded and said, it's gonna be a while. But the time has come. I patiently waited and it's in my hands. And she's so cute. Look at her. She's wearing her folklore card. That's me. I told you Henry's my boyfriend because that's actually me wearing my folklore cardigan with a book. And that's my boyfriend. I need to read that so bad. Maybe I'll read that next. No, stick to the script. And then I have the Magnolia Parks Into the Dark. This is also brick, and why I haven't picked it up, even though you guys know I'm a Magnolia Parks like lover of the series. Like, it's one of my favorite series of all time. It's in my top 5, which is weird because I also hate the characters so much, but I also love them so much. Like, they're all the most annoying people you've ever met in your life, especially BJ. I'm #1 anti-BJ, okay, but I am #1 Julian stan, and I don't want to read this book for that reason, because I know Julian's gonna lose. It's not even a battle. It's not even a love triangle. But I know that Julian is not gonna win. And for that, I don't want to read this. Also, the way the last Magnolia Parks book ended, this is gonna be so depressing. Also, the cover, she's giving British Statue of Liberty, so it's not really drawing me in. This came out in January, and I was so excited about it. I ordered this book from the UK so I could have like the cover that matches my other ones, and I was gonna read it right away. And then I remembered how it was gonna start, and I was like, you know what? Now's not the time. And then the time never came. And the time still hasn't come. But I need to read it before the next Daisy Hates book comes out. So that's gonna motivate me to get this one done. Give me a Daisy Hates book. I eat those up. Magnolia and BJ are the most annoying to me. I would have anyone's books before theirs, but they are the OGs. So I have to tolerate them. This is where we get serious. And this is where a lot of people's hopes are gonna get up. So I need you to keep your hopes high and your expectations low. I'm gonna leave that for last, actually. First, I'm gonna pull out this. I thought I was gonna read Caravel a few months ago, and then I started reading it, and when I started reading it, I read chapter 1, and then I was like, I'm not in the mood for this, and I read a contemporary romance. But one day when I am in the mood for a fantasy, and I know I have to push through the first 3, people say, you have to read the first 3 to get to the last 3. I know I could technically read the last series by itself, but I don't want to. I want to stick out the first one, so I get the full build up and the full backstory. So I just need to commit to it when I have time. And this is giving like a September, October, like spooky vibes. I don't know why I'm getting that, maybe because the covers are dark, but I'm feeling like maybe in the fall, I'll reach for these. Maybe I'll do a reading fantasy video. I'll do something to motivate me to actually read them because I've been wanting to read them for the longest time. I want to read the Once Upon a Broken Heart series is what I actually want to read, so I need to commit to these. We just need you guys in the comments to just be yelling at me, because if you're not, I'm gonna have no motivation. this is where you have to take this with a grain of salt, because I've been saying I'm gonna read this for probably 5 years now, maybe longer than that. I don't even want to bring it in the frame. I don't even want to say it, because I know once I say it, you guys are gonna be up my ass about it. Is it time? These have been on my shelf since maybe 2019, and I get asked all the time, you still haven't read ACOTAR? No, I haven't. And you know why? Because everyone else has, and it scares me that I won't like it and everyone else will, and then I'll be left out and I'll feel stupid. Or what scares me is that it will become my entire personality and I won't be able to formulate a single thought besides these books, because that seems to be the effect it has on people. And I want to be part of that club. I do want a new hyperfixation, just not right now. See, I've been waiting for the perfect moment to read this series, and the perfect moment doesn't exist and it never comes. And I think that's a life lesson that I need to accept. There's no such thing as a perfect moment, and you just need to do things when you can, because tomorrow is not promised, and I could die not reading ACOTAR. That's dark, okay. I keep saying I'm gonna wait for the perfect time, when I have a solid month of time to dedicate to this. I'm never gonna have a month of time to dedicate to reading, unfortunately, so I just need to do it. This is also giving me fall winter vibes. I don't know why. Maybe just because I don't want to read it right now, so I'm saying that, but really it is giving fall winter. I could be wrong, they could take place during the summer, but in my head they take place in the winter. And I know you guys are gonna yell at me to read it, and I know, and I will, and I've been saying I will for 5 years, but one day I will. Somebody leave a quote that's not a spoiler, a romance quote that will convince me to read these. Because that's all it takes, to be honest. You give me one good romance quote, I'm picking it up the next day. I don't even know if these are the right order. I don't even think they are, but it'll happen, maybe. We'll see. Those are all the books I picked out for the physical copies I have. I'm gonna go on my Goodreads and... What was that noise? I'm gonna go on my Goodreads and see if there's anything else coming out this year. Lost and Lassoed by Lila Sage. I can't wait for that. Brother's Best Friend, Enemies to Lovers. I've been waiting for that. Play Along, I already talked about. Oh, Wild Eyes by Elsie Silver. That's the next one. I want that more than my next breath. That comes out September 3rd. Every book Elsie Silver has ever written, I actually adore, especially the Chestnut Springs series, and this is a spin-off of Chestnut Springs, and I loved Wild Love, so this is the next book in that series, and I already know the couple is gonna eat down, and also it's single dad, so how could it be bad? Those are kind of all the unreleased I can think of off the top of my head. There's probably more that are coming out, because the way these authors release books every other week, it feels like, I can't keep up, and I also can't stick to my TBR because of it. That's my realistic TBR that I'm hoping I'm gonna stick to. No promises, like I said, but you guys can yell at me and please convince me down below. And also, if you have books that are on here that are on your TBR that you've just read, leave your opinions, your thoughts. Yeah, thank you so much for watching another book video. I hope you enjoyed. If you want to follow me on my other social medias, they're linked down below as always. And I'll see you in my next video very, very soon. Bye!